Hey, welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. Today we're discussing another Lydian key, going through our major church modes. And here we have the poker chips laid out with D flat at the far left, all the way to C on the right. So here we have D flat, D, E flat, E, F. Here's our group of three blue chips or black keys on the keyboard. G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, and C. You might notice here that B and C do not have a blue chip between them because it's only a half step. And from E to F do not have a blue chip between those either, though it's also a half step. And the first thing we're going to determine when looking at our Lydian mode is the Lydian pattern for the modal scale. So we're going to have a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. Well, that is our Lydian pattern. Here's going to be our key note here, the D flat. And that's the first thing we want to realize when we're looking for a Lydian scale is the pattern for the Lydian mode. Another thing to note about the Lydian scale mode, the pattern, whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half, happens to be the inverse of the Locrian mode pattern, which is half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. So if we can remember our Lydian mode going up, we know the Locrian mode by simply stating the Lydian mode in an inverse. So the Lydian pattern descending is the Locrian pattern ascending, and the Locrian pattern descending is the Lydian pattern ascending, and vice versa. Okay. Secondly, we want to determine what a relative major key is to the Lydian scale we're trying to form. So here, if we have our D flat, we know that if the Lydian mode is the fourth mode of the major scale, it's going to be on the fourth note. It's also known as the sharp 4 mode, a mode that has a sharp 4 degree in its scale. Given that it is the fourth mode, it's going to be on the fifth half step of our major scale formula. So it's going to start on the series of 3 whole steps after the first half step of the major scale formula. So on the fourth degree of the major scale. So we simply can count down 5 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here is our A flat note. Again, from the middle of the three black keys, we have the A flat or G sharp. And this is going to be the key that is our relative major key, or the key signature that our D flat Lydian mode will be derived from. Given that this is 5 half steps down, if we know there are 12 half steps in an entire octave, we know that there's going to be 7 half steps in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7 plus 5 gives us the duplicate note up here, or the octave on the D flat. Again, our relative major is going to fall on the 5th degree in Lydian of our Lydian scale. So we can either play our D flat Lydian by playing in the key of A flat major, starting on D flat, or we can form the scale using the pattern for Lydian scale mode of a whole step, a whole step, a whole step. Here was our half step to A flat, a whole step, a whole step, and again the final half step is from C to D flat, and that gives us our Lydian formula: whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. Let's remove the notes that are not in our Lydian mode. And you can see, if you look at this pattern, now again, it won't be the same notes, but the pattern for Locrian is here in inverse. We have a half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, And then the final whole step descending is here. So that is a Locrian pattern. If we look at it going to the right or ascending, it's the Lydian pattern. Whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. Which leaves us with the notes D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. Now, if we know that our D flat major scale from our keynote has 5 flats, we can see now that we're looking at a 4th degree, a G flat that has been raised to a G natural. So there's our sharp 4, from G flat to G natural. And that's all Lydian modes have that sharp 4 degree right here. Here's our 5th degree, which is the relative major key signature of A flat major. You can see the 4 flats of A flat, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Again, noticing that, we can move our A flat here, the first 3 degrees down, which gives us an A flat major scale. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, and G. Again, this is the D flat. It's on the 4th degree, which is where our Lydian mode will begin from. However, we're going to give our scale degrees numbers here off of A flat. So A flat is 1, B flat is 2, C is 3, D flat is 4, E flat is 5, F is 6, and G is 7. And I recommend doing that for all of your major Ionian mode scales, is going ahead and giving those scale degrees numbers, so that when you move this into Lydian position, it's easy enough to see scale degrees 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, and 3 from our A flat major scale. 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, 3. Starting here on D flat. This is back to our Lydian position. Our triads from Lydian will be this. Will be a 4, 6 root of A flat, D flat, F, A flat, which is major. Our second triad is the 5, 7, 2, or E flat, G, B flat. Our third triad from D flat Lydian is the 6 root 3, F, A flat, C, which is minor. Our sharp 4 degree is the 7, 2, 4 degrees. Again, 7, 2, 4 scale degrees are always diminished. So this is going to be our G, B flat, and D flat from our relative major. 7, 2, 4, or diminished triad for our sharp 4. The 5th degree is major. This is our relative major. A flat, C, and E flat, or root 3rd, 5th of A flat. Our 6th triad is the 2, 4, and 6, B flat, D flat, F, which is minor. And our 7th triad will be the 3, 5, 7 minor triad. C, E flat, and G, which is minor. Okay, again, our qualities for the triads were major, major, minor, diminished, major, minor, and minor. Again, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3 of A flat. However, our key center will be here on the key note, which is the D flat. We can also form seventh chords using alternating scale tones from the D flat Lydian scale, like this. So we're going to have our first seventh chord here, going up on the first degree of D flat Lydian, the 4, 6, root 3, major 7, D flat, F, A flat, and C. This is the 4, 6, root 3 for a relative major. It's going to have a 4, 3, 4 spacing with a 2 plus 1 interval for its minor third here in the center. Again, F to A flat is here. You have F to G is 2 half steps, and G to A flat is 1 half step. This interval here is right here. So 2 plus 1. This is the fourth major 7 chord of your relative major scale here in the first position of the Lydian mode. Your second chord is a 5, 7, 2, 4. It's a dominant 7. Again, the scale degrees 5, 7, 2, 4 are always dominant. And here it's on the second position of D flat Lydian. It's going to be the E flat, G, B flat, and D flat. Again, B flat to D flat is a minor third over the E flat major triad. So it's a 4, 3, 3 spacing. It always has a 1 plus 2 here and a 2 plus 1 interval here, like dominant 7s. This is your 5, 7, 2, 4 dominant 7. Your 3 chord is the 6, root 3, 5 minor 7 chord, starting here in this case on F. F, A flat, C, and E flat. This is a minor 7, 3, 4, 3 spacing with a 2 plus 1 here and a 1 plus 2 interval here in the third position of Lydian. Our sharp 4 chord was our G half diminished 7, 2, 4, 6 half diminished chord, or minor 7 flat 5, starting on G, G, B flat, D flat, and F. Again, D flat to F is a major third, or 4 half steps, and we have 2 minor thirds on the bottom intervals, or a minor 7 with a flat 5. Again, this is a 1 plus 2 interval and a 2 plus 1 here for the 7, 2, 4, 6 of A flat, here in the fourth position of our Lydian mode. Our 5 chord was the root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Starting on A flat, this is our relative major. A flat, C, E flat, and G. Again, it's a 4, 3, 4 spacing, major 7 chord, and it will have a 1 plus 2 interval here. Here's the minor 7, 2, 4, 6 root, B flat, D flat, F, and A flat. This is a minor 7, a 3, 4, 3 spacing with 2 plus 1s here for its minor third intervals. And again, we're B flat, D flat, F, and A flat. And the 7th position, major 7 chord, or sorry, it's a minor 7 chord, starting on the 3rd degree of A flat, 3, 5, 7, 2, minor 7 chord, C, E flat, G, and B flat. 3, 5, 7, 2 degrees. It's a 3, 4, 3 spacing and it has 1 plus 2s for its minor thirds. Here and here. Okay, so again, our chords are the 1 major 7, the 2 dominant 7, E flat dominant 7, we have an F minor 7, a G half diminished or minor 7 flat 5, A flat major 7, a B flat minor 7, and a C minor 7. Again, across the bottom was our 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3 scale degrees, or our Lydian mode. The thirds here will be the 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, and 5 scale degrees, which is really your Aeolian mode, here starting on F. The fifths here are the Ionian mode, root 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th of a relative major, A flat. And across the sevenths were the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, or the Phrygian mode, starting on C. So those are modes as well. Let's talk about the inversions of these chords of D flat Lydian. Assuming the scale degrees will not change, I'm going to discuss now the spacing between the quality of the chords and their inversions, just to make that simpler to remember. So on our one chord, we had the D flat major 7 from D flat Lydian. It's a 4, 3, 4. When we invert it, we have the 3, 4, 1 starting on F, F, A flat, C, D flat, to our 4, 1, 4 position, starting on A flat, C, D flat, F, to a 1, 4, 3, starting on C, D flat, F, and A flat. Coming down is A flat, F, D flat, C, F, D flat, C, A flat, D flat, C, A flat, F, and C, A flat, F, D flat, for our D flat major 7. Our second chord of D flat Lydian is a dominant 7, E flat, G, B flat, D flat, which is a 4, 3, 3 spacing. When we invert the dominant 7, we have the 3, 4, 2 position, 3, 3, 2 position for dominant 7 chords. Here starting on G, G, B flat, D flat, E flat. Again, this is 3, 3, 2. Our second inversion is 3, 2, 4, starting on B flat, D flat, E flat, G, to our 2, 4, 3, starting on D flat, E flat, G, and B flat. Coming down is B flat, G, E flat, D flat, G, E flat, D flat, B flat, E flat, D flat, B flat, G, and D flat, B flat, G, E flat. Our third chord was the minor 7, the 6 root 3rd 5th of A flat, or F, A flat, C, E flat, F minor 7, which is a 3, 4, 3 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 4, 3, 2 position starting on A flat, C, E flat, F, to the 3, 2, 3 position starting on C, E flat, F, A flat, to our 2, 3, 4 starting on E flat, F, A flat, and C. Coming down is C, A flat, F, E flat, A flat, F, E flat, C, F, E flat, C, A flat, and E flat C, A flat F. Our sharp 4 chord is here. It's a half diminished, G half diminished, G, B flat, D flat, F. Again, this is a 3-3-4 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 3-4-2 position starting on B flat, D flat, F, and G. Here we have the 4-2-3 starting on D flat, F, G, B flat, to our 2-3-3 starting on F, G, B flat, D flat, coming down as D flat, B flat, G, F, B flat, G, F, D flat, G, F, D flat, B flat, and F, D flat, B flat, G. Our 5 chord was a major 7. This is our relative major. A flat, C, E flat, G, a 4-3-4 spacing. When we invert this A flat to the top, we have the 3-4-1 starting on C, C, E flat, G, A flat, to our 4-1-4 starting on E flat, G, A flat, C, to our 1-4-3, G, A flat, C, E flat, coming down as E flat, C, A flat, G, C, A flat, G, E flat, A flat, G, E flat, C, and G, E flat, C, A flat. Our 6th position, minor 7 chord, is a B flat, D flat, F, A flat, a 3-4-3 position. When we invert this, it's a 4-3-2 starting on D flat, F, A flat, B flat, to our 3-2-3 position, starting on F, A flat, B flat, D flat, to our 2-3-4 position, starting on A flat, B flat, D flat, F. Moving down as F, D flat, B flat, A flat, D flat, B flat, A flat, F, B flat, A flat, F, B flat, and A flat, F, D flat, B flat. And our 7th position here was the 3-5-7-2 minor 7 chord starting on C, C, E flat, G, B flat. When we invert this, we have our 4-3-2 position starting on E flat, G, B flat, C, to our 3-2-3 position starting on G, B flat, C, E flat, to a 2-3-4 starting on B flat, C, E flat, and G. Coming down as G, E flat, C, B flat, E flat, C, B flat, G, C, B flat, G, E flat, and B flat, G, E flat, C. And these are your chords of your D flat Lydian mode. We had a D flat major 7, E flat dominant, F minor 7, a G half diminished, A flat major 7, B flat minor 7, and a C minor 7. Those are the chords of the D flat Lydian mode.